Say their name and they appear. I believe in Command This.
What is up, everybody? Thank you for joining us, and thank you for Phil for that wonderful introduction that is taking over all of the social medias. I still don't know what it is, but I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out.
When you find out, you too will believe in Joe Hendry.
I surely hope so. But we want to thank you for tuning into another episode of Command This. This is our Thursday night live stream. It is the 25th of July. And like we've been telling you guys, we're joined by, excuse me, friend of the show.
We like AIDS. I know. It sounds like we're joined by AIDS. Like,
excuse me.
What's going on over here,
let's bring in our guy, our guest of the hour, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Anthony Armstrong. What's up, brother? How you doing?
Man, I am good. I'm trying to finish off Kansas State right now. I am 2.5-star Tulane, welcoming Kansas State down there to Louisiana. And I'm on their ass, man.
Are you playing the Road to Glory with the player, or are you doing the team franchise thing?
Man, we doing a dynasty, man, knocking something off that we haven't had in obviously like 10 years.
Yeah.
So many moons ago, but now we back at it again. I couldn't be happier.
So what school are you?
I'm Tulane. No, I'm Tulane.
Tulane. Okay.
Yeah, I was the Division II guy, so I didn't have my school wasn't on the game, but you can actually load it up there. My homeboy actually did that. He put West Texas on the game.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. Like you have to take somebody's roster over, and then you can go from there. So I'm in the fourth quarter.
Okay. I like it, man. Well, thank you for taking time out of today to come chill with us, man. As always, it's a pleasure. I think we had you on last time for our 100th episode, and then we just flew through the season. And man, we're glad to have you back. And you blessed us with a video on vacation, which we'll talk about here in a little bit. So we do want to thank you for doing that as well.
You're very welcome. Man.
Always welcome. So it's been a minute since we had you, but we're going to talk some camp stuff. We're going to talk some expectations and get your point of view and see if you have any some good stories to tell us. But yes, thank you for joining us, Mr. Anthony Armstrong. I gotta ask you, man, what's in the cup? I saw you had some go-go juice earlier.
This is a little Hennessy White.
Okay.
My mom brought it back from St. Kitts.
Okay.
And so
Hennessy White. I got some Basil Hayden toast today. Nothing.
How is that Hennessy White? I've never tried it.
It's all right. It's not bad. It's kind of it's kind of a sweet finish to it, I think.
Yeah.
So it's not bad. It's a little easy sipper. So
okay.
I got a little bird dog peach.
Bird dog.
Eddie, what you got over there, Phil?
I got nothing. I'm going to try tonight.
Good. Somebody's got to drive this show a little bit later on.
That's right.
Let's welcome Phil Bullock. Phil, thank you for joining us, man. Glad to have you tonight. And Mr. Yam says, yo, Anthony, I subbed to his pod on Spotify too. Yes, Believe in Commanders, man. It's a good show. Make sure you do that. Him and O'Brien. It's been like 2 weeks for an episode.
Hey, man. It has been. I actually got a couple that are in the hole, and you just got to get them uploaded for you.
You've been making the rounds with us other content creators, so you've been busy, dude. I've been following you. You've been everywhere.
It's been big. I made a point of it. I was like, I got to get back and connect with my folks, and it gets busy to do this stuff, and I mean y'all are always rocking. So I'm like, if I can jump in over there, I'll deal with it from the wife for a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I say. We appreciate you, man. I understand what it's like, and so I know when our schedules don't link up. We've been trying to link up for like the last month, and schedules are tough. So, but we do appreciate you coming on. So, let's roll right into this thing, man. So, as you know, we're in the training camp. It's that time of the year. I feel like it's been taking forever. It's been taking forever, but here we are, and because we didn't get a chance to sit down with you in a while, just very very quickly. What's your take on the 2023 season, man? How did that end up in your eyes? And just, give us your opinion on 2023 in a nutshell.
And I would say false expectations or a letdown, right? Because, I mean, there was a lot of hope for, Eric Bieniemy and what he was going to potentially be able to do. And I was on the bandwagon. I mean, shoot, I was like, man, this guy's gonna come in here and really make things happen. But when you look back at it, nothing was really set up to be successful anyways, right? You got a quarterback that was a late round pick. You got a coach who's on his way out, but then you also have a OC that's like trying to quote unquote earn a head coaching position. And it just everything fell on his face. But, sometimes you got to be at your lowest before you can start to work your way back up. And hell, the way 2024 is starting, it's been a good swing so far.
Yeah, and then moving off to 2023. I mean, are you happy with the way free agency and then the draft worked out for this team?
You couldn't be happier. I mean, you've heard all over the place. When's the last time you ever thought you'd have a Bobby Wagner pulling the bills? Right? Like that's one of those ones that you see, like, hey, this crazy trade proposal gets Bobby Wagner. And you're like, yeah, right.
I would have set up for Bobby Brown. You know what I'm saying?
Something, right? His prerogative. Yeah, I mean, you got a great player in Bobby Wagner. You can see just all these pieces coming together from coaching staff, head coaches. So much talent and experience is on the coaching staff, and I think that's going to really help this team. I mean, you've got two former head coaches on the offensive side and a head coach candidate in Brian Johnson. You telling me that brain trust isn't going to come up with something good? I mean, when you come down to like some of those major decisions last year that we were all worried about with Ron, now you got so many head coaches that Dan Quinn can look to and say, hey, in your experience, what have you seen? And it's all been built really well. So I'm just as excited to sit back and just let things unfold.
Yeah, for sure. With that being said, we hit free agency, we got the key players to bolster up the defense. We didn't really do a whole lot on offense. Got a couple linemen. We got some key players on defense. We got Luvu. We got Wagner. We got Armstrong. We got Farrell. I think we did a pretty good job. But rolling into camp, okay. This is what I want to get your insights on. How do you feel about training camp? Because, when you were here, I don't know the accommodations, because now we know they're staying in Lansdowne Resort, air quotes, resort with the golf course. They're not staying in a hotel where I guess some of the coaches let people go home. How was your experience at camp here in Ashburn when you went through?
Man, we did camp. We stayed in the hotel. What road was that? Just when you just go straight out, Wax Pool comes into mind, but I don't know. It was a hotel right down the way, and that's where you shacked up, man. And that's all I ever really knew. So them having the whole Lansdowne Resort, that's kind of cool, because then they're going to probably use all those different meeting rooms and keep everything over there and do a lot of more things maybe back at the hotel. So it could be a team bonding type thing. And the way that you heard these guys talk about building the team, and hearing Terry talk about how they have this what crescendo or something that they've made, like a team motto essentially that they've written out. So maybe being at Lansdowne is a good experience, but we were in a hotel, man. It wasn't that bad. But it was just, you go back to the room and you and your roommate. I was telling the story on another show. I had Brandon Banks. He was my roommate.
16.
Yeah, man. We were it was cool. I mean, we were both up.
Oh man, I can't imagine if you had a team curfew. I know he was trying to get you to break it every night.
Nah, man. Look, bro, we were both in the situation where we were like, look, we trying to make it. We trying to get on this squad. Neither one of us need to be trying to get in trouble. I mean, all I did was go to work and come back to the room. So we used to ride to camp banging Rick Ross. It was that MC Hammer, the album with MC Hammer on there. Yeah, man. So I was thinking about that, like, man, that was some good times. But camp was good. It was just a grind. I mean, you just show up knowing that at this point, at least when in 2010, I knew that it was like, okay, outside of Santana, and then they brought in Joey Galloway, this is basically wide open.
Right.
I've always said, if I could just get in front of the right people, they get given an opportunity. I say given it or earn it, you gonna make something happen, and it worked out for me. So that's really how it went down. Camp was just about a grind, and you could just focus on football and make the most out of it.
Yeah. At the time, were you a single man at the time, or did you get married and had a family yet?
No, single since I wasn't married, but I was in a relationship.
Okay.
So
Because as as someone with a family man now with kids, I can't imagine, you always want to get home and get to your kids. And, imagine going through camp now. I was just curious how that goes into the dynamic of players staying focused and still having to go home. And that's why I think maybe the hotel is kind of a nice gig.
Yeah, no, I already know, like, I wouldn't want to be playing ball right now with my kids, like oldest being 7, just because, like, I want to be around them. I want to see them, and not being able to help with bedtime and things like that. Like, I want those moments, and being able to, they can watch the game. They don't care about practice. They wasn't gonna care about practice anyways. But when I can pull up an old clip and they're like, "Oh snap, that is you." You're like, "Yeah, your daddy did something back in the day." Like, that's cool. And there's no shame on no shade on players who've had kids while they were playing. I just knew for me, I wouldn't out, because if I was playing and having kids, I was going to so focus more on the kids.
Man, see, that's how you're a professional athlete. Me, I had to like grab my old notebooks out to show my kids I was skinny and had hair. They was like, "No way, Dad, no way." Like, dude, ran track in college. No way, Dad. Like, that's messed up, man. They don't believe nothing.
Man, you got to have video evidence nowadays, man.
Well,
that's true.
If I can't Google it.
My son's dug out old photo albums. That tells you how old I am. I have photo albums.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Yeah.
You got the ones that have the.
You have hair." I'm like, "Yeah." I had hair, and I was in shape. Look at that.
Let's say hi to Marcus. Marcus, founder of Sportsview 2 on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in, Marcus, as always. Uptown Dre, yo, my brethrens. Good to see you. Good to see you back online, Dre. Yam says, making me feel old. In high school, we used to troll through practice and warm-ups with Quad City, DJs, Rex and Effects, and Montel Jordan. This is how we do it. That's right. That was the days, man. The 90s.
Ooh, you can always tell
how we did it.
You can always tell the music the white schools played hip hop. It was funny.
Yeah. Hip-hop, modernized top 40.
Play some rap. 40. We're gonna play Montel Jordan.
Oh my goodness. This is how we do
Snow.
Man, hey, when that came on, this is how we man, we was out there.
Dre says team unity is important, especially this journey begins in camp and beyond. Yeah, it's a fresh start, no distractions, and I think we're on the right track. You got any cool any other camp stories you want to share with us?
Camp stories. Oh my goodness. Yep. I do. I think I'm thinking this one time. I know you talk about like not the H word, but like picking on people. Just your rite of passage type of thing.
Tough love,
if you will. Well, I know that the GM at the time, his son was there, the George, young namesake of the illustrious George Allen. He was younger that day, and he was always at those ages. He was always like messing around in camp, little prankster. So one day we got a hold of him. I think it was us as the receivers, and we got as much tape as we could, and we taped him to the goalposts. So we had Bruce Allen's son taped to the goalpost. We dumped water on him, and had a hell of a day. So that was a pretty good camp experience, just to being able to do that. But some of the other things that are really cool to happen is whenever you see some of the hidden talents that people have, you know, because like you've been battling and grinding all day, and then you get up there and the rookie starts busting out a song that he wrote, or he can play the guitar, or somebody does this hell of a performance. Like those are some really cool moments as well.
Like what you see on Hard Knocks when they make the rookies do things in front of the whole team, like in the team room. Did you have to do any of that stuff?
Man, we did that in Miami, man. I was like a 25, 26-year-old, 24, 25, like that. What do we sing? We sang Shy.
If I ever fall
If I ever fall in love
Hit the
again,
note. Hit the note.
I will be sure that the lady is a friend. Yeah, that's what. See, and y'all could have been there. Y'all could have been my backup.
Right. Yeah, I would have been. I would have been Devontae.
The very next time will be my friend.
Yeah, we sung that, man.
Oh,
so,
baby. Good
you
song.
had to make it fun though, like because it's like a camp boring, and you gotta really get out there and show your ass a little bit. You gotta have fun with it.
Dev's gonna get me in trouble again, man. I know where he's going. Yam says we were actually evenly mixed racial school, but the teachers and coaches wouldn't allow Biggie or anything. Oh, they held you down, man.
Hey,
Ryan, what's up? Has a question for you. Says, how'd you like playing McNabb? Always was a fan of his.
Man, with Donovan, I've said it so many times, like get into the league and seeing all those names and the players that were on the roster, I was like feeling like I snuck behind the rope and was like blending in with everybody else. Like I was like, oh my God, that's Donovan McNabb. Like I'd play ball with him on Madden, and I'm in the huddle with him right now. Like it was a legit like NFL ultimate fan experience type crazy thing. And it sounds weird saying that because some people are like, well, you were in the NFL, you should, feel some type of way. It's like, man, I was in this like a starstruck. Like I'm figuring it out as I was going. First practice, it was in October, so it wasn't training camp, but first practice, I'm on kick return team, and they're like, you got the L4. And I get to counting, and I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4. And I see this big, gigantic boulder down on the other side of the field wearing a 45 jersey. Mike Sellers was my blocking assignment. Oh. And as he was sprinting down the field, he sees the fear in my eye. Dude is laughing as he's running because I'm like, man, look, I am not going to block this dude. And it was a good Olay. It was a good Olay right there. And I let that slide. But, nah, man, I don't know. Those were good times back there in Ashburn.
That's what's up.
Mike liked putting the hurting on cornerbacks, so you looked the part.
Yeah, and shout out to Mike, man. He had heart surgery. Yep. I think he's a month out or something like that from his recovery. So shout out to him, man, and keep those good thoughts going for Big 45.
That's right. Baby, fullback's good again, man. We need fullbacks.
Yeah, now, absolutely.
Being that you're the resident professional wide receiver out here, one of the things we're excited about with this team is not just Jaden Daniels, but his targets, his weapons. What are your expectations for these wide receivers we have out here? What you look across the landscape? We all know Terry's going to Terry.
Yeah.
But do you think Terry's going to take a step forward this year? Do you think Jahan's going to pick it up? What do you think of Luke McCaffrey? I want to get your take on that, being that you've actually been a professional wide receiver in this league.
Well, Phil, I think that you're going to see – I would love to see a huge uptick. I think the highest stats I saw for a receiver in the Cliff Kingsbury era was like 1,700, and that was D-Hop, I feel like you're going to see the ball spread around a little bit more because your top three receivers as it sits, are Jahan, Terry, not necessarily in that order, but Terry, Jahan, and then is it Luke McCaffrey? Is it going to be a tight end? I think Ben Sennett's going to be moving around a lot. So for me, I think you're going to see variety. It's not just the receiving crew, but it's everybody on offense, how they're working together. Because if I can create a mismatch with Austin Eckler against a linebacker in the flat or on a wheel route, I'm going to throw it to him. I'll take that 20, 30-yard play. And then, I can work my way back around to Terry. But I would love to see Terry get a good 10, 12 targets a game. Like, let people know that that's your number one. I don't want to have these mid-year conversations about is he worth it, this, that, and the other. He's your number one, and you need to feed him as such. You talk about Jahan. That's another guy I think who's going to have a good season. Last year, I think a lot of things get out of his control. We mentioned play calling really wasn't what we were expecting. And when you're having 65 sacks on the year, running routes when it's 3rd and 12 and more really isn't that fun. Like, everybody knows what you're doing. You got to run way the hell down there and turn around, and everybody's waiting on him. So, he's going to have an uptick because I think scheme-wise, you're going to see him in much better position.
And now with all the technology, I believe they wear what some people say look like sports bras, but it's those sensors that track, outputs, inputs, power, wattage, steps. I can't imagine, what you guys were running back then versus with all the CBA, the less, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, because we sure didn't have that tracker until like 2014. I remember Cleveland had them. That was it. Like, it wasn't anything back in those first days. Because I was listening to the Logan Paulson and Fred Smoot and those guys, and they were saying how day one Dan Quinn started with red zone, and he was like,
"Is that crazy?"
It's not what you normally think. You think day one we're going. He's starting with red zone so that you don't have to get as much early 40, 50-yard sprints for your receivers.
Easing it in maybe. Okay.
If we're 20 yards and then you can't run but so far. So I like that. And I was like, that makes a lot of sense from a guy where you check the stats. I pulled my hamstring week 4, the 2010 and 2011.
Yeah.
So I never played against St. Louis, never played in St. Louis. That doesn't really matter. But that's what happened. Like I got injured at that time. So that was 4 preseason games, 4 regular season games, plus 2 weeks. That was like 10 weeks of full on sprinting. So starting with red zone it's a small nuance, but I think it saves everybody from having to run. Now you don't have those injuries that linger into the regular season.
Yeah. And I don't know if you've seen the footage of the Houston, Texas camp that just opened up, but it's all over. If you search for it on X, I mean, the defense is laying players out. I mean, Stephon Diggs getting laid out. Like these players, they're going so hard, and everyone's like, "Oh, they're so intense. They're bringing it. And I'm like, is that what you want? Like, is that what the defense is supposed to do? I know these guys are battling for spots, and you want to make a name for yourself, but you're also not gonna hurt the star wide receiver on the other side. But these dudes
that's a quick way to find yourself on the bubble, and you take out your own teammate.
But it's getting so much hype. I don't know. It's crazy.
I'm gonna have to look that up. But the taking people down and taking people out, this isn't the time for that. I get that you're trying to set a tone, but hell, schedule one of them joint practices for that, or at least save it for a live period in practice. You know what I mean? There's got to be a respect level amongst your teammate. Like I get it, we can compete hard and we can push each other, but in no way do we need to have anybody get injured in practice when we're all on the same team at the end of the day. So I'll take some of that intensity, but I need some more smarts. More smarts.
It's not what it's about. So
it does feel dumb as hell to do that. I get it, and I know that we've complained for years that camps have gotten soft. There's not as much contact in practice. And to an extent, I agree, but you shouldn't be going out there whole hog trying to, take out your own teammates. You're going to hurt yourself in the end, especially when you're taking out, Stephon Diggs. That guy's going to help you win.
Yeah, you're 100% right.
Well, you got to protect those players too. I mean, at some point, I don't know. I think you said it. It's the joint practices, but I'll find a couple of these clips and I'll tag you or send them your way. Okay. Are there any position battles? Let's talk position battles here going into the into camp. So you got a lot of crowded places on the team. We already talked about the wide receiver room being very crowded. So I think. Your top 2 are pretty simple. We'll just start with wide receivers, right? Because that's it's the flavor of the day. You got Terry and Jahan. Outside of that, how do you see the next, let's say, 3 spots working their way out with the likes of Crowder and McCaffrey, and you still got Dax on this roster somehow. They signed Zacchaeus. Like, how do you? Diami's lingering out there. Kazmir Allen finding a way. How do you see the next 3 spots working itself out? And I guess do you think they'll keep 5, maybe 6? I don't know. What do you think about that?
I had him at 6. 6. I was over there with Big Doug, who actually went through this offensive side at least. I went with 6, and I'll give you a couple of reasons why. But here are my 6: Terry and Jahan, Luke, McCaffrey, because they're just given so many ways for him to get the ball. Crowder, just because he's a vet, and Zacchaeus, and then Diami. All right, those are the guys I think are going to be out there. Having some of that more veteran receivers around the young quarterback makes sense to me. Just to fill those out. And something to consider is that new kickoff rule, and I just feel like it's going to change the way rosters are made out. Yeah. Instead of having that one fast, like no shade, but like the Kaz Allen. If I can't put you on kickoff or some other special team outside of returning, like I need to have a linebacker that can be able to get off of a button press and that kickoff drill that essentially is what the new kickoff rule is, because I don't want to be down a player and they can attack that and give up big plays. So I could see that keeping receiver positions low. I think this one here, Marcus's comment about the tight end being more of a key. That's the other part. I had 5 tight ends. stay.
I love it. Love it.
All
Five.
of them.
Five.
All of them.
Five.
All of them. All
Well,
of them.
for utility purpose, right? Not just outside the.
I have 4. Who's the 5th?
Well, I put John Bates, Zach Ertz, Ben Sinnott, Cole Turner, and Armani Rogers.
Then I guess I got 5, but I counted wrong. Because I'm trying to think of who I left off. Don't press that damn button, Steve. I know what you're great to press. Don't press that button, man. I know you're great to press.
Smoke weed every day.
I knew you were gonna do it.
That's come on. It wouldn't be a show without that. But
Man,
that's exactly who I have. I was trying to think, who did I leave up there? I forgot Bates.
But then I mean, I only had 3 at running back, but I mean, I still think that there's ways to scheme Eckler in to get catches. I think there's ways to, I feel like it's going to be more of a mix. Everybody's going to have to get busy in some way, shape, or form to make the offense go.
Like McCaffrey can play running back. Like you might not take 3 an initial 53, right? You might just take Eckler and your boy Robinson, and then emergency third back, McCaffrey out there just to get over the first week.
Yeah, you could have had that. Hell, I'd like to see them keep Rodriguez in that instance, and then if that role starts to grow, maybe move McCaffrey. But you just got. You don't know what they're going to roll out there. So for me, it's 6 at receiver,
5 tight ends,
5 tight ends. Assuming they don't go make any trades or go acquire any Ayuk or anything like that. That's what I see happening. I mean, these other guys, Jack Saint is interesting, but hell, they may hide him and just keep him on practice squad.
Yeah. Dre says, you blow me up in practice, you getting it big time. Going back to the Texans. Yam says, something I scream on the D is more 2 tight end sets, more 2 running back sets in the rotation. The only time I saw anything like that was for extra block. His O-line was bad. Big fan of 2 tight end sets. This team had Fred Davis and Jordan Reed on the team at the same time under Jay Gruden. I think we only saw them on the field like once. The Patriots show dual tight end threats. Yeah,
I'll be right back.
Dual tight end threats are something that's impossible to guard, and we've seen that, but we've never had the luxury of having multiple tight ends with athletic ability. So
you talk tight end, Steve. You get lower, got directions. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Steve's got a tight end boner over there, man.
That's right. Tia, what's up, Tia? Thank you for joining us. Hey, fellas, thank you for joining us, Tia. Marcus said, plus they'll put a running back and wide receiver on the practice squad. Yeah, I got to go back, man, and look at what is the current practice squad rules, because I
think you can keep 2 as a primary.
We had the COVID rules, and I think some of the COVID rules just stuck around for the practice squad. So it used to be 4 or 5 back in the day.
You call them up twice.
Yeah, Dre says, could Bryce Tremaine make the team? 6'5", can't teach that. So it was Cam Sims.
Man, boy. I mean, like, you really gotta. I feel like right now you got to be able to bring a real value other than just being tall, because you got those tight ends that are that tall too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
100%.
Yeah, and with if you're saying 5 tight ends, 6 wide receivers, it's almost like, how do you spread the ball around so anyone can eat, and on top of Jaden being able to run, and then you got Eckler and B-Rob behind you. It's like it almost sounds like the receivers they might not get a chance to cook. Like, we want Terry to get that 1,500-yard season. I don't know if he can get it with so much. You see the dynamic we have.
I'm with you. Like naturally, it just depends on how they run this offense. Is it going to be an offense where they scheme you open? Like I said, DeAndre Hopkins has 1,700 yards in this with the Kingsbury offense. And other years than that, folks were like 800 and 800 and 900, like right around with normal Terry numbers. I think out of respect, you get him his 1,000 so he can keep his streak going. But is it going to get to be that 1,300? But in exchange, Jahan may be a 400 or 500 yard receiver. You know what I mean? But is it going to be smaller targets and he makes more run after catch? Like, you know that your targets are going to go down, but I feel like they're going to be more beneficial. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. If they're put in a position where this is what you're best at, and I get 6 of those a game, I would take that rather than being like, I got to run a route that I'm really not the best at, and you're going to throw it to me. Let's not waste that rep.
Yeah, for sure. Have you watching some of the footage of the what's coming out of camp? I know it's only, it's practice, but Jaden looks just smooth. He He's looking accurate. He's looking smooth. He's looking good. I don't know. I'm not gonna get too excited. Knock on wood, but
he's just working to earn that number one spot, man.
Yeah.
All I know is that the one I'm watching, and it's only because our fan base and our fellow podcasts keep bringing up, is linebacker. Because we got Louvu, we got Bobby Wagner, who, by the way, Bobby Wagner is on the NFL top 100 list. But at the same time, Jamin Davis is still there. Now I'm hearing about Jamin Davis on the bubble. He might not even be on this roster this year. That's crazy. It's one thing if you want to say, well, he's a first rounder and he hasn't necessarily become a game changer first rounder like you would expect. But I wouldn't necessarily say he's played so poorly that he's on the bubble.
Nah, Jamin Davis gonna have a crazy season. I mean,
He's gonna run with 3 linebackers all the time.
Well, the thing is he is at his best whenever he just can see ball, get ball. When he's able to just play fast and be decisive, then he's at his best. Like if it is one of them interesting sets and all he's finna do is blitz, then damn it, let him blitz for the smaller reps, smaller amount of plays. Joe Witt said it. I want 16, 17, 18 guys that can go. Instead of him being out there for 50, 60 plays, I'll get you out there for 20 and you're going to do your best thing for these 20 reps. Give me what you got. Give me that all day. You'll have a hell of a productive season from him. And the variety and the willingness to experiment from this coaching staff. That's what's exciting. They're not forcing square pegs into round holes. They're saying, let me take this triangle. If I can turn it and do only triangle things. And I just do this multiple times. I think that you're going to have a good season from Jamin, man. Don't think he's going to get cut. I think he's going to be a very imperative part of this linebacking core. And then don't sleep on Jordan McGee. You may have to wait 2 seasons before you actually see him on the field, but he's going to make a lot of noise in special teams. He's probably going to get some spot play on that defense as well and cause some havoc too.
I agree with that. I think that anybody saying Jamin Davis isn't going to be on this roster is kind of out of their mind, really. Like, no.
Play that clip again for Dev.
He's too talented. He's too raw in terms of he's not even raw anymore, but he's too talented not to try to do something with him. And you're absolutely right. He's best when he gets to just play read and react.
Yeah.
Let him see what's going on, react to it. Ball goes left, you go left. Ball goes right, you go right.
That's
you
it,
can
man.
chase down anybody on the field.
Right. And Jamin, and you can speak to this. Coach's job is put players in position to be successful on the field. And I feel like Jackson Real just didn't do that. It was, here's my system, here's my way. I'm going to call a bunch of crazy schemes and you get in where you fit in or get left out. I feel like this team, like you said, I mean, they put him at edge rush. They're letting him rush the quarterback, see ball, get ball. I think they're breaking it down because they see this ability. And man, if he could be Micah Parsons light,
man, what did Joe Witt say? He said, Jamin Davis is a big, strong man that can bend with speed. As he said, big, strong man that can bend. Put him in those positions. Jack Del Rio was trying to take an athlete and then make him into a middle linebacker.
Yeah, you can't put that dot on his head. I mean, right off the jump.
And it's no disrespect to Jamin. Folks will be like, oh, well, they saying Jamin can't. Look, sometimes it's just like, hey, in your best situation, let's put you right here, and it's less responsibility. Ain't nobody saying you got to get out there calling defense and things like that.
Yeah, right. Micah doesn't call the defense.
That's Hall of Famers that have less responsibility.
Let's kind of call it what it is. You take an Anthony Armstrong. Are you just going to run him 8-yard outs all day long?
Sometimes.
But what are you normally going to do? I'm
going to run deep, but see. 2011 Armstrong, I was like, hey man, let me run something other than these deep ass routes. Yeah, waste of my time. Like, let me do something else because you got to set certain things up, right? You got to.
But the point is that I wouldn't have you run just 8-yard outs all day long.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
You run some of those because you got to keep those corners honest. But
exactly. Yeah. But we know what we finna do. We finna go on top on somebody.
That's right. Set it up. AG says, big Washington playoff bound, guaranteed 100. Thanks for joining, man. Appreciate you. Marcus says, I think Forbes looked like he added weight. Quinn will use Davis to attack the quarterbacks. Yep. EM says, I don't see it, but if it happens, great. Talking about Jamin. And Tia loves Jamin. Says, Jamin's on that roster. He better play like Ike Turner is his daddy. Ooh, Tia.
By the way, congratulations on him. Jamin Davis. He got married, I think, last week.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah. Congratulations to him.
Marcus says Coleman taking reps at first team left tackle. We need that one to hit, man. We don't need to be getting a left tackle in the first round. And AG says Jamin Davis was not meant to be middle linebacker. That position takes great football instincts. I mean, they drafted him 19th out of Kentucky. But like you said, and like put him in wherever that is. Put him in position to be successful.
I almost accidentally defended a Kentucky player. Never mind.
Oh, look at you, man! Look at you. Okay, is there another position battles you think we need to cover? I think we got it.
I guess the last one,
safety.
Yeah, the D. I think just DB as a whole, because you got to roll corner and safety in there.
I think that's where the surprise cut comes from, and I think it's not because of the player. I think it's just a numbers game.
Who? Well, go to the second topic then.
Well, surprise cut. I think from what I've been hearing on the radio and on all kinds of stuff about camp, it looks like the base set safety guys are being Juice, Forbes, and Chin and Quan, right? And they said they're rotating Quan out with Butler, and what's name's coming in third.
Defoe.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, man, maybe Defoe's the guy that's out, man. Personally, my favorite DB on the team, especially 2 years ago. That guy was like the man for a little while, you know.
It's 2 days in, coming off an injury.
Yeah.
I think Defoe could have a really good year, and he was fired with St. Juice when they were on that same side.
Was he? Yeah, he was.
Man, and he lays wood. Pause. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He lays wood, man.
Yeah, like to me, I think it's somebody that can kind of work his way up. You go find a position for him. You're gonna find a place, and then now you got Sanger still too. Like is he only slot? But he's gonna be a piece that they get to throw around as well.
Yeah,
he seems like I think Sanger still is gonna end up being the biggest steal of the draft.
Second round pick. There we go.
And honestly, if they can get Coleman right with his technique,
I think he's got the athleticism.
He might play slot.
Technique's a little needs some work, but that's what you got coaches for.
But you know what else though? You look at the rest of that line. Veteran. 4 veterans over there in the backfield. You got B-Rob's got a couple years on it, but you got Austin Eckler, and all of those guys can communicate when it comes down to like pass protections. You know, I think Eckler's going to help Jaden make sure that let's not Mike 54, let's Mike over here because it's going to help me. This DB's blitzing, right? And if everybody's communicating, they can operate. But seeing Coleman kick slide back and forth from those 2 punching bags over OTAs, that gives me a lot of confidence. You know, it gives me a lot of confidence that you'll be able to deal with it. Plus, he's got coaches that know all of these rushers that he's going to go against.
Yeah,
Bobby Johnson from the Eagles, Brian Johnson from the Eagles, Bobby Johnson from the Giants, and then Dan Quinn and the crew. They came from Dallas. They're like, hey, Mike is good at this, you know, so they can help him out.
I can't say Bobby Johnson without saying OG Bobby Johnson. Every Bobby Johnson, OG Bobby Johnson. It just naturally flows off the tongue that way. OG Bobby Johnson.
Absolutely.
Phil Bullock said, I don't like his game. Should never draft him. He's talking about Jamin. That's the previous regime, but you know what? You got to work with what you have. You know, he's in his last year. They didn't pick up his 5th-year tender, so this is a make or break year for him.
And he's got so much athletic talent. You got to try it.
Yeah, you got to. Why not? And any surprise cuts that you can think of that you think may or may happen that, you know, not really thinking about. We talked about all these crowded rooms. You got anyone that you think that just might not? Is that too early to tell?
I mean, I do think it's way too early to tell. I do think like a Jamin would be a surprising cut. I think like a Forbes would be a surprising cut. And then if one of my older veterans kind of fell off of there, I think that'd be a surprising cut, but it would be a pleasant surprise, not because they're cut, because one of those younger guys have probably made such an impression that they figured out, hey, we have to get him on the field, and we'll take a little youth at that position to keep him. So right now that would be about it. But you know, you gotta see how things happen once these live reps get going.
Do you think we keep 4 defensive tackles?
I mean, I don't see why not. They gonna keep 17 to 18 dogs, man.
Yeah.
We got 4 solid ones on there.
5 actually, if you count your boy from Alabama that hasn't really played a
Fedarian?
lot.
I'm counting them into 4.
You got Fedarian. What's the big dude?
You got Johnny Newton. You got Fedarian Mathis. You got Deron
Allen.
Payne. You got John Allen. You got Ridgeway.
Ridgeway's one
We
thing.
still have Ridgeway.
Yeah,
Ridgeway
that's
and Obata.
That's fine. And Obata probably
injured.
can get on. Yeah, you can
Man.
probably
Obata's
get
an
on
end,
the
though.
list.
Obata's an end.
Yeah.
That's
Man,
gonna
look,
be the one.
you're gonna see so many combinations. Like I don't know, somebody's probably out there tracking, and they don't show that much. But you're gonna see so many combinations of like end, D tackle. Put these 2 guys together. How do they work?
Yeah.
And that's gonna be the magic sauce. Like how many different combinations can you put out there? Who's productive and who can you trust to get this thing done? I got the family coming in, so I got to rock and roll.
All right. We appreciate you, Ant.
Let it, man. See
Take
y'all.
care, man. Yep.
Thanks,
All the
man.
best.
Come on,
Appreciate you. Much love.
Anthony Armstrong, fellas, the man.
Anthony Armstrong. There he goes. We appreciate his time.
I
Fellas,
wanted to ask him. I got to ask him this sometime. I was watching a 2010 game, the first game against the Eagles in 2010, where we actually beat them. Everybody remembers the time we got slaughtered on Monday night that year, but we actually beat them first game of the season. And Anthony caught a deep ball that led to a score down the sideline. And I thought about, because they were praising, his speed and his technique and all that, and how he impressed in camp. I'm like, have you ever gone back and ever watched a game that you were in? And is it weird to hear people talk about you and analyze you like that?
Yeah.
I always want to ask a player if they've done that. If they've really sat there and listened to that down the line.
Let's go back and let's go talk to Matt Jones, man. We haven't talked to Matt Jones since 2020. Let's bring him back. Pierre changed agents, so
talk about the critiques he got.
I can't find Pierre's agent. So Pierre, if you're listening, man, we want to bring you back. AG says NFC East pass rushers are fast and nasty. Our offensive line is going to be in for a hell of a job, man. Like they're going to be hurting. I don't know. We're going to see if this offensive line is where we need to be. So I'm not sure. Tia says, "Where is De'Ami Brown?" Yep, he's on Instagram talking about how he's salty with all the disrespect. So you know what?
Well, let's go. Do something about it, son.
Marcus says, "I think
when the ball's coming."
That's right. Marcus is going to wait till after the first.
De'Ami Brown has been the starting slot at all the camps, the first team slot every time so far.
Okay.
So y'all,
Ben Harlan says, "You want Trent Williams back?" Absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
He's our best left tackle to ever. Well, one of the 2 best left tackles to ever play for this team. I'll put it that way.
He's the best. He's one of the best left tackles ever played.
He's one of 4.
4. I was going to say 2, but you got Lachey, you got Trent, you got Chris Samuels and Joe Jacoby
and Chris Samuels.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, Chris Samuels was cut. His career was cut a little short.
But Chris Samuels still played almost a full decade.
That's true. I love that neck brace he used to wear.
Lachey also had his career cut short by back injury.
And you love Chris Samuels because he was a Penn State guy, wasn't he?
No, he was Alabama.
He wasn't Penn State?
Yeah,
he was Alabama.
Why did I think Chris Samuels was Penn State?
Because he was drafted with LeVar, who was a Penn State guy.
Okay.
Remember, LeVar was drafted back-to-back with Courtney Brown.
That's what they had. They had Rashawn Salam or somebody. Not Rashawn Salam, Curtis Ennis, right?
Kajana Carter?
Kajana Carter was in him?
Kajana Carter was before that. Kajana Carter was on the team that got robbed out of a national.
Blair Thomas.
Achilles Smith.
Blair Thomas was another Penn State guy, I think.
No, but Kajana Carter was on that team with Bobby Ingram and Kerry Collins and Kyle Brady and all those guys.
Yeah.
That was the Kajana Carter team. They should have won national championship, but because of the fact that everybody wanted to dick suck Tom Osborne, Nebraska got the national championship.
Tommy Frazier
did the polls. They didn't have the bowl championship series.
Was it Tommy Frazier?
Yeah.
Tommy Frazier, Nebraska.
Oh, bro.
Number 7.
That Nebraska team was not.
He was a dog. Tommy Frazier was a dog, though, bro.
He was a dog, man. Nebraska was producing some folks back then.
How he never got one shot. That got to be like on everybody's number one list now in 2024.
Yeah, he was ahead of his time. Yim says, did they bring up Mathis today? Yes, Obata's on the pup list as of now. I love Obata, dude.
Yeah,
Love Obata.
he broke his leg pretty bad though, right? Obata.
He's starting out on the pup list, but I think he's recovering still.
I've also seen
Johnny Newton's coming back.
I've also seen I have seen on there where Casimir Allen's been running most of the kickoffs back too, right?
Yeah, well, we just talked about that. He's also caught like 2 or 3 touchdowns from Jamin. So AG says
I'm a big Cass fan, ain't gonna lie.
Ridgeway's a dog. Mathis might be the odd man out. Listen, I'll never forget the Ridgeway suplex. That's just how it is, man.
Yeah.
Baby, that was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Says, plus Quinn and Witt will play a hybrid defense. They will. Ben says, I always talk myself and realized I wasn't that good. Dre says, salute Ant, but who goes on practice squad on our DBs? Dom Hampton, Owens, Chigozie A or no I. So I just looked up the rules. So you can have 16 players on the practice squad. It used to be 10 back in 2019, if you can believe that. So now it's 16 players plus 1 if one of them players is an international player. So you could have 17 if you have 1 international player.
That's how we got Obata them, right?
But one initially. And then, he was part of the international like Samus Reyes, and, the Super Saiyan slaying Chilean, as I like to call him.
He's on the Eagles, I think.
No, really?
He was on Eagles last year.
I lost track of him.
He was on the Eagles last year for real. I don't know if he's still there. He was on the Eagles last year.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy if that's true.
I was killing with him on Madden because he's like a 90 speed.
Yep. You guys have any other surprise cuts or makes you think that's going to happen right now? It still might be too early. We're only in.
I think it could be. I think it's like like he says, Ridgeway or your Federian Mathis. That it's one of the. I think one of those two don't make it. Or like I said, man, I'd be upset if it's Derek Forrest.
No way, dude. He's too talented.
I think no way too. But I'm just going by what I see in practice when everybody posted who's getting the reps, man. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So. I also think either or Crowder or Zacchaeus makes the team. I don't think both will make it. I think one or the other.
I always thought Zacchaeus was a camp guy anyways, man.
I don't think he's a camp guy. I think
he's younger. He's younger than Crowder. Yeah, if anyone, Crowder probably has the lower hand in that fight. I think Zacchaeus has the upper hand.
And he also covers. I don't know if Crowder covers kicks.
But like Ed said, with this new kickoff rule, you're going to need 2 or 3 kick returners because people are going to be returning them kicks this year. I cannot wait, dude. It's going to be so much fun.
I don't think you can have 3. I don't think you can have 3 if one of them don't play.
Say what?
I don't think you can have 3 kick returners on the team if that's all they do. I think one of those guys is going to have to actually be a player on offense or defense.
Yeah. Phil Bullock says, I'm ready to move on from Allen. He put a bad taste in my mouth last year. Casimir Allen? He didn't really have an opportunity last year.
I liked him.
I mean, Bruce Allen, sure. I don't know about Kaz Allen. He just never had an opportunity. He's, there's too many people in front of him, and, our offense was in shambles with Bieniemy and no run-in. And Ben said, let's talk odd man starting. Luke McCaffrey. He's going to find a way, dude. Luke McCaffrey will find a way to get on a field. I was trying to get Ant to say, he would think Luke might be wide receiver 4. You got McLaurin, you got Dotson. 3 is up for grabs, right?
I don't think Diami's got that role.
I don't think he is either.
The season. Well, I think he's got to start the season. I think
that's why
week 1. I think Diami's there.
Luke will be in 1 through 4. He will be there.
Yeah.
And Diami will probably the wild card is Diami and Jamison Crowder. I don't know who's getting that 3rd spot. I don't know. You remember last year though, Jamison Crowder had some very surprisingly good games last year. You remember that?
Well, he was a good receiver. He was one of the better receivers in the league at one time.
Yeah. Phil Bullock says Allen, we know is getting new owner, still came out crying, so get rid of him. He ain't doing shit.
He's talking about John Allen.
Oh, John Allen. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. Yes, gangsta John Allen. That's. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. AG says Crowder's a safety net if a young wide receiver doesn't impress. Absolutely. And he has some linkages to here, before he left us to go to New York. Luke may get 3rd. I agree with you, Ben. I agree with you. Ryan said, I like to see Crowder stay. You know what? If you want a veteran who can return kicks, go with Crowder. And he can play wide receiver. He's already a multi-starting
level slot.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. So I wanted to ask Anthony before he got to leave, but 2024 success. We already talked about our record predictions: 7-9, Dev at 7-9, Phil at.
I had 8 and no, I had 8 and 9.
I'm sorry, 8-9, 8-9, 7-10, 7-10. But outside the records, we kind of hit on this, but what is success in 2024 mean for this team? Dev, record aside, what is success for this team?
If I say we have the second or third pick next year, and if Shador Sanders is there, and the guy from Georgia is there, and the guy from Texas Ewers is there, and we're not discussing picking a quarterback,
that's success.
Yeah, if that's not even on the board that we pick a quarterback, no matter how high a pick we have, then I would say that's success. I have pretty high expectations for Daniels.
Yeah,
I think that he is going to be awesome. I don't know about the offensive line yet. I don't know about the scheme.
Yeah.
I felt like when I watched the offensive coordinator when he was the coach of the Arizona Cardinals, I felt like he just ran the play. Like he called the play and that was the play. I felt like there was no wiggle room or there was no was out of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll figure that out.
Tia says, keep John Allen right where he's at. EM says 7-10. AG said Crowder lost a step. But if you need a veteran who you can trust, the biggest thing about punt returns and kick returns, you can't fumble. And if you want someone with sure hands, Jameson's your guy. But to pile on before I turn it over to Phil, what you said, I agreed, Dev. But to me, on top of Jaden, if we aren't talking about picking a left tackle in the first round, that's success. If Cornelius Lucas is that guy, hey, great. If Brandon Coleman is that guy, great. That's another metric of success.
What's the offensive tackle for Alabama right now? The nice one that says like a generational fucking dude. Look, man, it ain't gonna matter how good this kid is. If that guy's there, you're probably gonna take him. And just to be honest about that, the guy from Alabama, I can't think of his name. He's like supposed to be the dopest guy.
He's gonna be he's in Alabama this year.
Yeah, he's a left tackle.
Is it?
You ready to look up
Caden Proctor, 5-star recruit, started all 2023 as a freshman, returned to Alabama after entering the transfer portal. Caden Proctor, that's who I see on the website right now.
Gotta be it, then. I kind of sworn like some Armstrong or some crazy.
He was on the field for 335 of Alabama's 386 offensive snaps.
I might be wrong. I don't want to tell you.
Caden Proctor is who everyone's saying. J.C. Latham was the tackle before, but Caden Proctor is the name that just keeps popping up. So, yeah, what about you, Phil? What's success for 2024 for you?
Well, one measure of success is that when we go into next year's off season, the positions we address this off season aren't positions we're looking to address next off season.
Yes, please.
Are we talking about we need a right tackle or something, or corner instead of a left tackle? We're talking about we need a corner here or safety there or something. We just need to address, or maybe we need to address some depth or whatever it is, so that when we're drafting in the first round, it's BPA all the way. That's to me, that's a measure of success. We've done a lot of roster turnover. We've changed a lot of positions.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I want to see that turn out. Having us actually win more games is a measure of success. I know.
Oh, of course.
May or may not be, but 3 wins more than what we had last year. So 7 wins minimum to be a success to some degree. We're going to be drafting wherever next year if we have some measure of success. Yeah. I'll take it. It means we're in the right direction.
Will Campbell's
happening, and those younger players, now that they have a year under the belt, will have another year to take that leap. Then that the following year, 2025, this whole build to me is for 2025. Is that when you start making a run? You can make that. You can do it in 2 years. 1 year is a flash in the pan thing. a 2-year build, you can actually build something, create a foundation for the future.
Yeah.
So I believe that if what we did this year between draft picks and free agency, not just 1 year stuff, but when we picked up free agents for 3 years, 4 years, whatever it is, if they all pan out, draft picks pan out, at least for the top 4 or 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Whatever. That's all I need. Because if they pan out, we're going to win more games anyway.
You can spend that draft capital elsewhere.
Will Campbell was the guy I was telling about. It was LSU and Alabama. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, no, it doesn't sound like
one of them big SEC guys.
Yeah,
it's Will Campbell though. I think he was like the best tackle.
Put on some
One of the best
sunglasses.
tackles they've ever seen on a lot of places. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Marcus says success is Jaden Daniels and Brandon Colton development. I like it. You know what, Marcus? I'm gonna give you the bike go for that one. Ben Harlow says convert on shorter third down conversions. Okay, I like it. Defense success for Ben says stop over the middle BS that's plagued the team for years. Be more aggressive. A lot of that is linebackers, man. Linebackers. Phil Bullock, don't know the record, but I believe we stay healthy and our DBs can wake up. And we're fighting right there for a wild card. It's a little promising. I think we'll be just right below the wild card. But like I said, it's not, to me, it's not about making the playoffs. Of course, you want to make the playoffs, but if you don't, like Dev said, if our quarterback, we know our quarterback's that dude.
Get Travis Hunter. That's what y'all need to do.
Someone mocked Travis Hunter to us at, what'd they say?
12.
Pick 9, 10, 11, something like that. Yam says success is if our defense is in the bottom of the barrel again. I mean, that should be a pretty standard thing to surpass. AG says O-line needs draft attention in the corner or pass rusher. True.
Pass rush.
Very true. Last season's success is be good with the O-line we've got. AG says agreed, no redos, picks in 2025. So Phil, he's giving you the acknowledgement. DT Sensei likes and subscribe, people. Thank you for joining DT. Appreciate you. Command Time Podcast. Him, Caleb, and Kayla. Appreciate you popping in. They had Anthony on last week too, so you just missed Anthony. He had to depart. So thanks for dropping in, DT. Much appreciated, man. Ben Harlow, I was hoping not to drink as much this season. Apparently with Phil, I have to hang it up until next year.
Nah, bro. I said that we got to win more games.
Yeah.
Winning more games means less misery beers. Now, it does mean more victory beers. So realistically, you're still drinking.
Yeah.
You're just drinking differently.
That's true. Ryan would like to see Jay Daniels make the receivers we talk shit about be better, become consistent all around. Like, can he make Diami better? Sam tried, couldn't do it. Dev seems to think it's coaching, right? I'm just playing Dev. All right, let's
got an idea.
Okay.
What if we move Diami Brown to safety?
Oh, then we'll bring this out.
Smoke weed. Damn, son.
But listen, when Dev said that in 2020, Dev, 2020, we didn't have no safeties in 2020. We didn't.
And he was cracking fools on the punt.
And he was on the kick returns and punt returns. He was laying folks out. He was a gunner as a wide receiver. So as much as we clown Dev for that I understand where he was coming from. Okay, now we're going to move into a little bit of something we've been trying to do for a while. We already got Anthony's video, which I think we'll probably play anyways, just to refresh everyone's memory. But we're going to do the post-2020 Mount Rushmore. So the folks you think are on the top 4, not Redskins, Washington football team, and Commanders. So 2020 to present. Who are the top 4? We said players, but I know some people will want to put whatever they want. And what we're going to do is we're going to go back and we're going to look at what Anthony Armstrong said about what his players, what he thinks they will be. So I'm going to play this for you guys real quick and let me know what y'all think, because this is what Ant's thinking. And we're going to rehash this, and then we're going to go into ours very, very quickly. So stand by. We're going to get Anthony's. Here we go. He was
heard that. Bob Marley playing in the back.
He blessed us with a video.
I'm on vacation.
10-year anniversary coming up, but Steve reached out. He says,
Congratulations.
I'm on the podcast looking for the Mount Rushmore of Commanders players from 2020 and on. So 2020, 21, 22, 23. And I was like, well, let me think about that. Let me see who I got. And then here's a couple. Let me drop mine out there, see if I have a wild card for you. So number one, obviously, you got to go Terry McLaurin. Quiet leader, 4 years straight, 1,000-yard receiving. He had 919 his rookie year. So he could have easily started out his career with 5. He has 5 straight 1,000-yard receiving seasons. The man is a consummate leader in the community, in that locker room. He's a guy where you show up and the coach says, follow Terry, be like Terry. So Terry McLaurin has to be the first name and the first face on that Mount Rushmore. My second one, it could be a combo. It's going to be that dynamic duo, 2 big bulls in the middle of the defensive line, Deron Payne and John Allen. Now, you can't do one without the other. You could easily say, we'll make it John Allen, but Deron Payne's been balling. So then you can say, we'll make it Deron Payne, but John Allen's there as well. So give me that dynamic duo. Those 2 guys in the middle, holding it down, have helped this defense. For the record, we didn't get to dog him about that. Because he chose 2 people when we said 1. Granted, this is his list.
That's Deuce.
I get it. I vote Tupac and Biggie as the best rappers of all time. He's that position to be one of the highest ranked. It's all good. In the league and overall talent. But I got to put them both up. Number three for me, Tress Way, consummate professional, has been on that team, 10, 11 seasons now. Got to give it to Tress Way. Just now, finally, he's getting out of that 5, gave that 5 to Jaden Daniels, so Tress Way's on that list. But here's my 4th, and it's a wild card. He hadn't even been there that long. Oh. But I think you got to put Adam Peters up there. I think Adam Peters is the new face that they're currently carving. And if wins come with his tenure, with him being here in Washington and what he's built in the offseason and the coaching staff and the players and all of that, the free agent acquisition, being able to bring in Bobby Wagner. All right. There we go. So we got Ant's list, and we're going to roll through ours very quickly and see what you guys think. So we said we were going to do players. We're not going to do we are not going to do
non-players.
So that's what we're going to do. So I want to hear what you guys have to say. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start this. We're going to put this window up here.
Hold on. Marcus Eagley said Logan Thomas.
Hey.
And Josh Harris. By the way, we said no players.
Stop.
Only players.
If someone wants to put Logan Thomas on their list, they can put Logan Thomas on their list. Okay, Dev? Let's not. Stop. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God!
Logan might be on my list. I don't know, man.
I didn't figure how many we was putting Heineke on there. Heike's gonna be on some people's lists.
Yeah. Listen.
Yeah, but some people also want to call this team the Red Wolves. So
there's.
I don't mind it.
I don't mind it either, Phil. Think about we said Red Wolves with how good would that have been?
He might have won 1 or 2 more games.
Have been. Okay, fellas, let's roll through ours here very quickly. What do you got? Then we'll go through some of the crowd ones. Phil, let's start with you. Let's go for, I guess these don't have to be in any order from best to worst, but
yeah, I didn't know.
Terry McLaurin.
Okay.
Yeah, we all got Terry.
All right. Okay.
Tress Way.
You can't knock Tress.
Do
it.
You're gonna say Terry. You're gonna say
do it.
Heineke. You're gonna say it.
Antonio Gibson.
Oh, that's a good one. Okay.
And man, did I battle on this one and both of them are ones you're not going to expect. But Dev's going to probably love me for this one. J.D. McKissick.
Ooh,
I forgot about him.
man, he was good
He
until he got
was.
hurt.
Go look at his stats. That dude was basically our second best wide receiver.
Yeah.
He was that 1 year for sure.
2 years. He was. 1 year he had 80 catches out the backfield.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy. Oh man.
God damn, Phil Bullock.
I mean, I got Terry and Tress for sure. I got Kendall. I got a Fuller on there.
Fuller was the one I almost put in over McKissick.
I'm still hard on that. It's got to be Allen at 4, and those are my 4.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So you have Terry, Tress, Kendall, and Allen.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, I'm kind of with you. I have Terry. I have Tressway. I have John Allen, and I have Logan Thomas. And not just because I'm a tight end guy. I just think Logan was very crucial from that 2020 season.
Yeah, 1 good year.
All the way until 2020 he had a good year. 2021 he had a pretty good year. He struggled last year with some injuries. I get it. Let me pull up his stats. But listen,
Yeah,
Logan
1
Thomas
good
was a
year.
captain every single year he played. He was a captain. And then he got hurt. What year did he get hurt? Was it 22? He got hurt in 2022, and he just never bounced back.
I mean, I would put Cosme over Logan Thomas.
What?
Been a starter for 3 years.
Hold on, Dev. Are you praising a second round pick? Are we hearing this correctly?
I'm not saying I put him on my list. I'm saying if I had to choose between the two, I would choose him. Bates is about
No, I really wanted to put Heineke on this list, but he was here for 20, 21, 22, 20, 21, 22. He was here for 3 out of the 4 years.
Yeah, and he started games in all those years.
Yeah.
He would have been a higher pick on Thomas.
Yeah. Marcus Edelin says Terry, Duran, Logan, Josh Harris. He
hey, nobody put Cheeseman on here?
Deluxe says McLaurin, Gibson, Allen, and dare I say Heineke. I can see Heineke.
Do so.
I can see Heineke making this list.
I don't see how there's not any Kendall Fuller love when he was like a Pro Bowler all the years he was here.
Honestly, you know what? Now I think about it, replace McKissick with Fuller.
Replace McKissick with Fuller. Okay. Kendall Fuller. Phil Bullock says, trash list, go put a shirt on, bird chest. I don't know who you are referring
He's talking
to.
about Anthony.
Anthony.
He's talking about
He has
wide
McLaurin, Payne, Allen, Tressway, and Adam Peters.
Damn.
Yeah.
I like Phil Bullock. He reminds me of
Gibson trash.
this Phil.
Phil, you've been drinking. I see. Phil sober tonight.
I'm sober tonight, baby.
Terrence Perry, what's up, our brother from another mother, Philadelphia
go back
Eagles
to Marcus
fan.
Edelman's list. That's it. You can't do that, Marcus.
What?
Adrian Peterson was never on the Washington football team.
He was a Redskin. He left in 2019 after 2019.
They cut him before the 2020 season. He went and played Detroit. We played
Tis
against
true. Tis true.
If it didn't, what's name was going to try to put Roy Halou on there.
Hey,
Yam says Kerrigan was still here in 2020. Oh, Kerrigan was here in 2020?
Yeah, but he was a backup.
He didn't do diddly poo.
He was a backup.
He was a backup in 2020.
I guess technically he was on a team, but you know what?
Coaching. He's on the team now. Hell.
Well, we said players.
Right.
Players from 2020 to 2024.
To paraphrase Jim Moore, he didn't do diddly poo.
Tia says Terry, Jahan, Sam Cosme, Tressway, B-Rep. So she went 5. Jahan would not make my list because he only had 1 good year out of 3. He's had 3 years.
No, he
right?
had 2.
2 years. So of those 2 years,
he had 35 catches his rookie year. He had 49 his sophomore year.
Yeah. Yam has McLaurin, Way, Allen, and Kerrigan. Okay, they all qualify. I'm not going to say no to Kerrigan. Listen, Ryan Kerrigan has always have a soft spot in my heart. We went to the White House Easter egg roll is what it's called. We were lucky enough to win the lottery and get in. And Ryan Kerrigan gave my oldest son, SJ, he handed him the ball and let him run through the kids' obstacle course. And he's like, hey, good job, buddy. And I have it on film. It's fantastic. So Ryan Kerrigan will always have a soft spot in my heart.
Yeah, you gonna put him on a Mount Rushmore from 2020 on?
No, because he went to the Eagles the next year, and then
and then became a coach after that.
Yeah. Tia says Cheeseman got Sly messed up. Sure did. Ryan says Cam Curl, Terry, Duran, and Tress Way. Okay, he's got Curl, Terry, Payne, and Tress Way. That's a solid list. Cam Curl's a good addition, man. I almost put Cam Curl on this list as well.
I almost put Montez Sweat on this list.
Yeah, Sweat was on. If I'm looking at my notes right now, Sweat's on my list. I removed him as I was
Logan Thomas
for Logan Thomas because I'm a buster, man.
See, I did Gibson because realistically, it was McLaurin and Gibson really kind of carried us into our one division title in that run, right?
Yeah.
So the fact that they were the guys who really led us to our greatest success is why they get a little more weight put on their accomplishments.
Yeah. Phil Bullock says, "How dare you three? No Taylor." Which Taylor?
Heineke.
No, I do not reward.
Heineke
I do not reward people who get players injured because they can't throw the ball.
I was
no how. I'm surprised How didn't go on here. Somebody
1 year, dude. 1 year. Heineke.
Heineke
gets an honorable mention, dude. Heineke gets an honorable mention. There's no way he can't get an honorable mention. And just a quick plug here: if you guys are watching this on YouTube, please hit that like button for us. We would greatly appreciate it. If you're watching this on Twitter,
honestly,
look to YouTube and hit that for us as well.
This is the thing. I originally had McKissick on for a reason, because if you look at McKissick's numbers, he was with us for 3 years, right? He was not amazing running the ball, right? He had 85 for 365, 48 for 212, and then the year he got hurt, 22 for 95. But he did average 4.3 yards a carry for us. But it was in the passing game. He had 80 catches in 2020 out of the backfield. He was the second best receiver on this team. He was our best slot receiver.
He sure did.
43 catches in a shortened 2021 season. He only played 11 games out of 17. And then in 2022, he had 27 catches in 8 games. Right?
Yeah.
He was pulling out. He was on pace in a lot of these seasons. He got hurt, but I mean, he did get hurt. That's why I decided just to flip him for Fuller. But if you look at him statistically, he played in 35 games, had 150 catches. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Nobody picked Corey Holcomb.
No, dude.
Now, why would I do something like that?
Yeah. Ben has Cosme, Sweat, McLaurin, and Allen. Solid. Yam says, doesn't matter. Ryan was still part of the Washington football grade. It fits in the win of 2020 to today. You're absolutely right. Not moving the goalposts. I'm just saying he's not on my list.
He wasn't great in 2020 for us, so he doesn't get on the list. Anything that did before 2020 is irrelevant to this list, in my opinion. Now, if you want to set different standards, that's on you.
Yeah. Deluxe says, Fuller's a good call. Heineke did have a lot of good moments between 2020 and 2023. Tampa playoff. Couple wins, gets undefeated, looking for volume in the window. Yeah, true. Tia says, put John Allen to round face on one rock back to back. Ant did it. But
it's a rock that kind of flips every 30 minutes.
Yeah, Gibson has a lot of yards and touchdowns. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, hey, this is the beauty of it. Everyone's entitled to their own list.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna knock you.
Yeah,
where did Gibson go? Where did Gibson go? The Bills?
Didn't he go to the Rams?
You may be right.
About Antonio Gibson?
Yeah, did he go to Rams or Bills?
I don't remember. AG says they should have Gibson to wide receiver. I mean,
no,
we didn't need to. We already had 3. We had Jahan, Curtis, and Terry. We needed running backs
right now.
Patriots, that's right.
Patriots.
You
were right. AFC East.
Yeah.
But no.
Patriots. AG and Deluxe got it. He went to the Patriots.
Yam's trying to one guy me with this Kerrigan thing, and sorry, I'm right on this one. You can't count a season. You can't say, well, he was great before the window of measurement here. The window of measurement has him as a backup. Doesn't count. I win. I'm right.
Yeah, well, right. I mean, we said from 2020 to 2024. What everyone else interprets after that, hey,
he was fine. A backup in 2020, and he didn't play for us any of those other years.
Right on this one.
Kerrigan, bye.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I love
And
Ryan.
I like Kerrigan.
Yeah.
He's the definition of he's a high motor guy.
He's linebacker McLaurin.
Yeah, like I said, he's not going to make my list because I think more players had impacts between 2020 and 2024. It's as simple as that. I love Ryan, but between 2020 and 2024,
if I pick defensive lineman, all four of the other guys go over him.
Yeah, of course you can count it, Yam. Of course you can. No one says you can't.
Chase
Absolutely.
Young.
I mean, I say he probably shouldn't, but I mean,
Yeah.
again, this is nothing official. So.
I thought I see a Chase Young on there that magic year he had.
No one's changing parameters. If you were on the roster in 2020 and 2024, you are eligible to be on this list.
You know what, Dev? I would put Chase on here because of that 1 year, but
no, I
the
wouldn't.
lack of everything afterwards that brings it back down.
No, nope. I mean,
Tress.
look at Dre's list. Tress was an All-Pro. Terry Pro Bowler. Sheriff All-Pro. Kendall an honorable sweat and curls.
Sheriff left before we were the Commanders, or was he a football teamer?
That's a good question. I think he was a
I
football
thought about
teamer.
adding him too, but I was like,
Sheriff was
like
for
1
2
year.
seasons, I believe.
He was.
That makes it hard.
He was an All-Pro.
Was he an All-Pro? Was he All-Pro in the W?
Yeah, for sure.
I think he was.
Yeah.
Honorable mentions.
I look at it as any form of this W logo, the old one or the new one, that I'm measuring your performance with that being the logo.
I think Sheriff might have to be on there, man. I don't know who I'd take off. Fuck. Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People are clowning this list on Twitter that I put. It's definitely an exercise. It's a thinking exercise. Like you literally have to think about.
But it's not sitting there thinking about, God, that guy was fantastic, and this other guy was fantastic. Was this guy good enough? Was this guy here?
Yeah.
Does this count?
That's what I was wondering. Like, I knew Sheriff played 1 year with us. I didn't think it was. I didn't remember it was 2.
Yeah, and then just because I posted a picture of people
out one of those years or something though. Like,
people thought that I chose those people. I mean, really, I'll just put that on there so people would look. But Yam already sent his list, and then Florida Skins fan McLaurin, Allen, Gibson, and Way. Nick Norris said Heineken, Logan, all for sure. Terry for sure. He had Curtis, Samuel, Sweat, and Allen.
How about this, Steve? Without looking at the pictures on the screen.
Yes.
Swear you're not looking. I can't prove it.
My hands right here. Look right here. Right. Okay.
Can you name the 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore?
I
you mean the 4 presidents?
On the 4 people on Mount Rushmore.
I can name George Washington. That's it.
I can name him and Abraham Lincoln.
Thomas Jefferson and Theodore Roosevelt are the other 2.
I didn't know. I could not. Is it? I don't know, Dev.
Roosevelt. That's the one I couldn't think of.
Damn, Dev. That's sad. I didn't.
It is,
I mean,
really.
I knew Washington and Lincoln. That's it.
History guy.
I knew Washington, Lincoln, Jefferson. The other one I could not think of.
Man, I feel really bad about that.
Theodore Roosevelt.
By the way, only one of us on here is in the military.
That has nothing to do with Mount Rushmore. For the record, it has nothing to do with Mount Rushmore.
No, man.
Hold on. I'm going to shoot Steve Bale. He swore to defend and uphold the Constitution, not to know who the hell was involved with writing it or dictating laws.
That's right. Say whatever you want. Do whatever you want. Uphold your freedom. I don't care what it is. That's my orders. I don't need to know who gave the orders. That's the orders. But yes. Stop screen. Enough of the Mount Rushmore.
What is our national bird?
Bird?
Cardinal.
Eagle. I would say an eagle. Bald eagle.
The state bird of Virginia is a cardinal, but no.
Yeah. State bird of Kentucky is a cardinal also.
The national bird is a bald eagle.
I do.
Now. Bit of trivia.
What? State flower, Virginia?
Do you know what bird?
Rod.
Do you know what bird
Stars.
Benjamin Franklin suggested be the national symbol instead of a bald eagle?
I do the
pigeon.
No. I've heard this.
You're not too far off, Steve.
Really? I was just joking. A pelican, a pigeon, a
no, not pigeon. I thought you said
no. I thought it was like a
pelican.
It wasn't a parrot. It was like a fucking crow.
Turkey.
Oh damn! I knew that. I fucking knew that. I heard.
Oh look, Yam got it in the comments.
Turkey. Look, Yam knew it. Yam knew it. Yam gets the applause. When it comes to history stuff, I'm like super autistic. That's why I know all this stuff about this team's franchise history.
right? It's because I'm super autistic about it. But like, yeah, history stuff. What I like is, and I keep correcting one part, is there's a post going around that they go. One of the surviving documents from the signing of the Constitution is the bar tab. Now, this has been going around, but they say it was for a farewell party for George Washington, which is not true. It's how they celebrated the signing of the Declaration of the Constitution, right? Now, so let me pull this up for you because this is insane. All right.
You gonna tell us about the part where they found all the dead bodies under Ben Franklin's house?
Hold on, let me pull up this list because it is nuts. I knew this a while ago. So there was 55 attendees. There were 54 bottles of Madeira. These are big bottles, the kind you pour glasses out of, not just like
Madeira.
60 bottles of claret, 8 bottles of whiskey, 22 bottles of porter, 8 bottles of hard cider, 12 bottles of beer, and 7 bowls of alcoholic punch.
And 5 diamond rings.
The thing they'll tell you is that the bowls of alcoholic punch were big enough for ducks to swim in.
Damn,
oh wow, that's my kind of
Infinity
party.
Pool, like Magics.
My kind of party.
Our
Let's
founding
go.
fathers celebrate signing and actually, I'm sorry, it wasn't the Constitution, it was the Declaration of Independence. So how did our founding fathers celebrate breaking this country away?
Like a frat party.
By getting drunk as fuck.
You know,
that's American people. That is as American as American gets.
You know why Benjamin Franklin didn't sign it? Because they was afraid he put a fart joke in it. He was notorious for doing that stuff.
Oh, he's notorious for that kind of stuff.
A fart joke?
They also found dead bodies under his house, by the way. No lie.
Benjamin Franklin has the greatest, one of the greatest
autobiographies. A serial killer.
Hancock signed.
Now I'm telling you, if y'all are people who like reading history,
died of syphilis in fucking France or some shit.
Benjamin Franklin has one of the greatest autobiographies ever because he has no sense of like, you shouldn't reveal this. Like, he just lays everything out. Like, basically, he was talking about how he was staying with a friend and the friend's wife, and he took a fancy to the wife, so he had sex with her. He just puts it out there.
As a gentleman should, by the way. No,
man.
But they did find dead bodies under his house. I'm not joking about that.
Benjamin Franklin, man, like, he has one of the best autobiographies ever, one of the best life stories ever. Like, this is a dude who really just liked being smart, and he liked just doing all kinds of debaucherous stuff. So Benjamin Franklin.
I bet Benjamin Franklin was in the feet.
What?
I bet he was in the feet.
Foot fetish.
I bet he was foot fetish. He also had dead bodies on his house. I said it 100 times. I don't know why.
He never once bought drugs.
You really, really, really want to emphasize that point.
He did have dead bodies on his house. It's not even made up. Look that up. Look that shit up.
All right, y'all know what we got to do.
Experiments and shit.
We need some positivity to end the show. We had Anthony Armstrong earlier. I had to depart a little bit early for family reasons, but tell us what's good in your life. That's how we always end the show. I'll start. Not really good, but did you know Fortune magazine listed the top 50 places to live for families? And you know what number one on that list was? Silver Spring, Maryland, where I live. I don't agree with it, but that's what was picked. Upper Marion, Pennsylvania, Chantilly, Virginia was 3, Ann Arbor, Michigan was 4. Chantilly.
That sounds like a number of pussy.
This is funny.
Crazy.
Steve lives in Silver Spring by zip code only. I don't consider where you live to be Silver Spring.
You could probably call it Hillendale, DC.
But my buddy John lived in Chantilly, although really it was South Riding, but it was Chantilly. Right? Chantilly, he would disagree with that whole rating too. But I think what it is, they picked the nice little suburbs of DC that are in the really rich counties.
I don't agree with it, man. There's so much crime in downtown Silver Spring. You get carjacked. I've been there in 18 months because the crime is so bad down there. I don't know how it got picked, dude.
Franklin, Tennessee is like a little spotlight right between
Franklin, Tennessee, Lafayette, Colorado, Overland Park, Kansas, Morristown, New Jersey.
Hey, wait, Overland Park, isn't that where Rod lives?
Kansas? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Rod lives in Overland Park.
Okay. Frisco, Texas, San Jose, California, North Hampshire, New York, Oregon, South Portland, Maine, Middleton, Wisconsin, Westfield, Indiana.
When I look at the pictures, it's basically saying all the places niggas
white people.
live.
Sandy, Utah, Middletown, Delaware.
You want to move to a good neighborhood where none of those people live?
Kapolei, Hawaii, Burlington, Vermont, Meridian, Ohio, Fallon, Missouri, Connecticut, Arkansas.
Stamford, Connecticut. Stamford, Connecticut is home to all the trash TV shows. Your Steve Wilkos, your Jerry Springer, and the WWE headquarters is in Stamford.
Okay. Alabaster, Alabama. Mexico, Wellington, Florida, Chandler, Arizona, Omaha, Nebraska, Fargo, North Dakota, Georgetown, Kentucky, Dev. Number 40.
That place is like a fucking. It looks like a ghost town with bars. Dead ass. It looks. You don't want to live in Georgetown. It's like a factory town.
Well, remember, this is to place for families to live. I don't know.
You don't want to live there. It's basically coal miners and
Rock Hill, South Carolina. I've been to there a few times.
Sioux Falls, South Dakota, Cheyenne, Wyoming,
Georgetown, Kentucky. That's what they all look like.
Okay, no distilleries there. Usually,
lots of distilleries there.
Morgantown's a good place. I've been through Morgantown a couple times. Not the college, but the neighborhood.
I hate
college.
the
college sucks, man. They almost tried. They were trying to fight me just because I was wearing a different team's Virginia Tech shirt. They wanted to fight me. Olive Branch, Mississippi, Providence, Rhode Island, Oklahoma City.
Providence, Rhode Island has long been known as one of the armpits of New England. How's that?
Armpits? I don't know, man. I do not know. I just
look at the pictures. No black folks.
I mean, Lafayette, Louisiana has to be, right?
You don't see any in the picture.
No, you do not. You do not.
How many times you can take a picture of people in Louisiana and no niggas?
Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Deluxe is chilling at OBX right now. Very good, man. I was down in Corolla myself a couple months ago. Good play. AG, I'm in Silver Spring, getting rough, but it's a great spot. Yes, I live in Hillendale. I'm in White Oak, right off of New Hampshire Avenue. So you're probably nearby me, man. I don't know where you are in Silver Spring, but I'm right off of New Hampshire Avenue, across from the FDA, if you know where that is. But that's where I am. Watch him live on my street. Probably it's not great. A small world. It is.
I mean, small world. I pulled up Deb's house the first time. I was like, or not Deb's, but I pulled up Steve's house. And I was like, Steve, you see those apartments right there?
Yeah, that's right.
I used to live in them.
The chateau, right? The chateau?
No, I lived. There was a small apartment building below the chateau. You can't see it because of the tree.
Yeah.
But that's where I live. But basically, the chateau.
Yeah. Maryland number 2, not in the hood. That's Moco. Yeah, Moco's great, man. We had Simone Biles. We got all the Olympic swimmers, but yes.
Dominique Dawes is from
Dominique Dawes, Katie Ledecky, Bethesda, man. Moco's doing it. Stephon Diggs went to Olney. He's a Moco guy too. Chase Young. No, Chase Young. He's the math guy.
I mean, straight right.
Chase Young's from Upper Marlboro.
Yeah, but he's a PG guy. Ben Howard says Huntsville, Alabama isn't on there. I don't know, man. It's fortunate, man. I don't make the list. I just thought.
I've been to Huntsville a lot of times, man. I've been to like a club that got Jimmy's. It's pretty cool.
Marcus says my cousin Simone graduated nurses school. Congratulations to her, man. Deluxe is chilling OBX. We got some good positive. You guys got any other positive news, man? Share it with us before we punch out of here, man.
I know all the strip clubs in Huntsville.
Yeah. AG says Sam Aaron to link up. All right, man. Hit me up on Twitter or Facebook, dude. Send me a DM. We'll link up, man.
Bowling Green, Kentucky. Yeah.
Yam says I knew somewhere with cheaper cost of living for sure, but I can't deal with long winters. Yeah, you got to go south. You got to go south, man. You got to go south.
You're gonna get tornadoes.
I got one here. So, James Williams. Who's James Williams play for?
He was on the Detroit Lions, and I don't know where he went.
But anyway, so he briefly left day one of training camp after vomiting several times early in practice. And the guy says he told me it's fine, just ate the wrong thing for breakfast. I see the picture of what he ate for breakfast.
But
he's still in the Lions. Okay, he's still there.
That's what he ate for breakfast.
Cheetos and fucking
Dude, don't tell me that was his throw up.
No, it's sausage gravy on top of Cheetos.
That's Rotel dipping Cheetos.
Yeah.
That's good.
Looks like sausage gravy on top of these.
It's Rotel dipping Cheetos. And then it's probably 90 degrees.
Ryan's going to Myrtle Beach for 10 days on Saturday. Greatly needed. Bro, maybe that's the move, man. My vacations are 7 days. I would love to take 10 days. I just know if I could take that much
I
time
did
off work.
7 days in Vegas. It was like 4 days too
But
long.
Vegas is not a vacation spot, dude. Vegas is for a long weekend. Vegas is not a vacation destination, dude. It's for a long. Well, you got married, so it's a little bit different. But
What would be a good vacation spot? Not for kids, because I don't want
not for kids.
Yeah, it's not
You wanna
vacation.
stay in the
Kids are going, bro. I don't know what
Ocean City, Maryland.
Yeah, voted one of the best beaches on the East Coast, Ocean City,
I don't
Maryland.
like beaches though.
You don't want beaches?
I'm not a beach guy. My girl is. I'm not a beach. My wife is.
I heard Chicago's pretty nice. I mean, it depends what you want to do. You want to sightsee? Not the
I
park.
don't go to Chicago.
Not like the Hoover Chicago. But I mean, like I hear Chicago has a lot of nice things to offer. If you can
I go to Old Town and no shit, man.
Yeah.
I just want
Dre says he's a city boy,
yeah,
DC
yeah.
born and raised,
What do you want
comrades.
to do on vacation?
nothing actually. Just hang out. Like Vegas is
Outer
okay
Banks.
for me. Like stuff like that's cool.
Outer Banks. It's a
I
beach,
go
but there's
to
nothing to do.
Orlando or something like a resort. Like a resort would be cool.
Go to the Outer Banks, get yourself a beach house. I know it's a beach, but there's nothing going on there. They don't have a boardwalk or none of that shit. All right, it's just houses that back up to the beach.
I like
You
to go
just
to
sit there
shows, though.
and
I
get
like
high
to
on the board, or get high on your deck all day.
Maybe I go to
Yeah.
Austin, Tennessee. I'm Austin, Texas. Go to the comedy strip. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, go to the
Yeah.
mothership.
I would love to go
Yeah.
to the strip.
Dre, I'm not always in DC. I'm in DC a lot. I spend a lot of time down in like Marlow Heights, Temple Hills. I got a lot of friends who live in Off Branch Avenue.
Crenshaw Mafia, you ain't got down there.
Yeah,
Crenshaw Mafia.
yeah.
I get down to Pigeon Forge. Pigeon
I love
Forge.
Pigeon Forge.
Yeah.
They go to like the
Yeah.
it's the mountains they got over here. I forgot what they're called. Smoky Mountains. That's where
Smoky
everybody here goes.
Yeah.
That's Pigeon Forge, dude.
Yeah, I don't
Mountains, that Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, like there's all kinds of that whole Appalachian Trail, dude,
Yeah.
all kinds of stuff.
Right.
If you're into that
about
sort of
3
thing.
hours away. I don't really fuck.
Yeah. Go to like New Orleans then. Go to
I love
Mardi
Shreveport. I've been
Gras.
there a few times. My ex-wife was from New Orleans. So we
Yeah.
go there a lot. But yeah,
Go to Pensacola. I heard
Well,
Pensacola is cool.
Here's the thing. Your
go to
wife
France.
now just jumped in here.
Any beach is okay
Any
with
beach
me.
is okay with her.
I'll go to France. It's in the
Yeah.
Louvre. The Louvre.
Phil Bullock said he had a good weekend in Norfolk last week. He was in the air during our show, but he did message and say he was going to try to catch up. So
I'm gonna watch Deadpool 3 tomorrow.
okay. Hey, what do y'all know about sausage gravy on pancakes? I would totally eat it, but I've never had it.
Nah, man. I mean, I've eaten pancakes.
I
I
was
was mixed in with sausage and gravy. That's okay, but I don't want sausage and gravy. I want pancakes. I don't even like chickens and waffles combined. I like waffles and chicken, but I don't like chicken waffles.
I've had these chicken and waffle chips the other day, and they weren't that good.
Can't be that
They're
good.
just Ben Harlow said it's a hidden gem,
Nashville
fellas.
hot chicken and waffles is where it's at.
Tia says Destin, Florida, Cabo. Yeah,
That's
OBX,
cool.
man. Outer Banks is good. It's just such a far drive from here with kids. It's like 8 hours.
I've never
Yeah, I don't wanna-
I said Outer Banks. I've never been to the Outer Banks.
You ever been on
Brian
a cruise?
says you got if you see Austin, you got to see Kill Tony.
Yeah, that's why I love that show. I watch every episode. But yeah, that would be awesome to do, man. I'd like to go to.
There you go. AG says Miami, Dev. Great for young couples. Expensive
I'm
as
not-
shit,
I'm
Miami
as
though.
fuck, bro.
Miami's
Dev is
What's
not.
a 46-year-old dude a pot belly went through in Miami?
Dev and Andrea are not a young couple. Their
Yeah.
couplehood is young, but they're not a young couple.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? They're
Memphis,
young
Tennessee,
as-
anywhere.
I don't want to go nowhere where girls are gonna walk around with their ass out, and I gotta look at my wife, then look at the girl, and look at my wife. You know, I don't need that.
God damn, dude! You know she's
I
in
was
the
in
house with
Vegas,
you
man.
and in
It
our
was-
chat.
I was in Vegas. It was rough enough.
Dre says wifey's
Bro,
birthday
just
this
so y'all
weekend.
know.
We'll be up in Rockville a few days chilling. All right, man. Up on the Pike off
If
of
you
Wisconsin
guys-
Avenue.
If you guys ever hear of a story about a Kentucky man getting the Lorena Bobbitt treatment done to him,
Yeah.
it's Dev.
You gonna
That
need
shit
you,
he
gonna,
just said.
you can't use one of the knives Loretta used for me. You got to use one of these, bro. You know what I'm saying?
There's the murder. There's the assault weapon right there.
You got to walk around like Paul Bunyan with an axe, bro.
Hey, Dre, where you going to Rockville, man? You guys going to Pike and Rose? What are you gonna be doing at Rockville, man? Let me know. Deluxe says sausage gravy and pigs all about savory and sweet. That's my jam, dude. Sweet and salty is like what I live for.
Super.
My wife makes his breakfast casserole with sausage and gravy and eggs, and I pour syrup all over. Man, it's so good. It's so good, dude. Ryan says, Deb, did you see Donald Trump, Joe Biden episode? If not, set aside 2 hours.
Oh my God,
yeah,
that shit was hilarious,
That was
man.
hilarious.
Hey,
I watched that
by the
whole
way,
thing.
man, that's probably one of the funniest ones that they've done. Next to the time they got that one old lady who was at the insurrection, that episode was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. AG says Tampa's for old men, Dev.
Yeah,
Crystal Asbury says Dev go on a cruise, but you will see ass. I don't know if Andrew will approve of that.
Man, see, I'm cool with cruises, man, but we watch too many of these daggone Corona things on CNN, and it
Go to the Bahamas or like Jamaica.
why don't want to go around with
Dev,
some
you'll see
with
abs.
the shit off, man.
She's gonna see 8-pack abs. And
Yeah, I don't want to.
Puerto Rico, dude. Puerto Rico is great. It's still in the United States. You need a passport.
We're gonna go to like
Virgin Islands, St.
Who
Thomas.
is Virgin
I
Islands?
was saying,
There you go.
can we go to a beach, man? I don't like beaches.
Oh, you don't like? Then what do you want? You said you don't want to go camping. You don't like beaches.
Yeah.
Where do you want to go?
You ever seen like we just go camping, bro?
Go to Alaska. There you go. Yeah.
I don't know no black people
So
in Winter Olympics.
where do you want to go? We need some parameters here.
France, I can do France.
He gets 3 meals comp. That's why
I need some food. I go to shows and shit, like comedy shows, music shows.
You should go to Amsterdam then.
That would be dope. Amsterdam would be my bag, man.
Dev should go to New York City.
New York City would be my jam. I would do that. We do plan on going to Madison Square Garden because I've never been.
Ben says Miami has gratuity on snacks. I'm telling you, man.
Right. Yeah.
In 2002, I went there for spring break in college. My buddy turned 21. I bought him a Long Island iced tea at the Hard Rock in Miami. For a college kid, a Long Island iced tea, $24.
And we went to Vegas,
Dude.
and the margaritas were $25 at pop. Anywhere you went.
I went to this spot in DC. I had 2 drinks. It was
shoulders.
$60.
Dude, crazy, man.
There you go. Crystal's got it right there. Get meals and shows on the ship. Go on a cruise.
Yeah, that's true. All inclusive.
Yeah.
Jim says he wants to go to Spain.
I like kids on the cruises. I don't want to be around them.
I keep his best vacations.
I don't want to be around the fucking kids. Nothing ruins your drink. Your drinking fun. I like fucking kids, bro. I don't want to be nowhere around.
They have cruises for adults, but Dev would fuck around and somehow end up on the swingers cruise.
Yeah, those would be pretty cool. You can't tell what I got though.
Man,
merchandise, but you can.
Good times. All right, guys, we're going to wrap this show up. We want to thank Anthony Armstrong for joining us tonight, for his at least giving us about 45 minutes of his time. If you haven't seen it, go back and check the replay. If you're watching this, hit that like button on YouTube. We greatly appreciate it. If you're watching this on Twitter, Facebook, flip over to YouTube, hit that like button for us. We would also appreciate it. Get that algorithm bumped and going. We'll be back. We'll see. Camp is here, so we'll see what happens over the weekend. I think we'll be back on Monday with some more camp stuff. I'm going to camp next Friday myself. So I'll try to get a vlog in for you guys, but I'm just worried about parking because they're not providing parking this year. So I'm a little nervous of what I'm supposed to do. There's no shuttles, there's no parking. So I don't know how. Well, I mean, no. I'll drive somewhere and then maybe Uber there. That's probably what I end up doing.
Go to Walmart, drive.
Yeah, that's probably what I end up doing.
Go 1 mile and get an Uber.
Yeah, that's probably what I'll end up doing. Crystal says no Virgin Cruises, no kids. There you go. Tia says Tahiti. And yes, you want to see fat white guys twerking? If that's your thing, there you go. All right. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. We greatly appreciate you guys. We'll be back on Monday. Catch you guys on the flip side. We appreciate each and every one of you. Seriously, the chat was great tonight. You guys would keep this thing going. So tell a friend, bring a new friend. AG, hit me up. DM me, man. Let's link up. All right. As always, guys, we'll see you on Monday. Peace. Inhale. We out.
You believe in Command this.